Guys, now please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on the screen. Those who are attending in online, I'm audible, guys. Now please respond to me. All of you get my voice on the screen. Those who are attending in online. Yes, clear. Yeah. Good morning, guys. Good morning to all. Let's just give a minute of time. I'll start the session. Okay. Just 1 minute. I'll start the session, guys. Don't worry. Okay. And before that, that's it. Now, take this link, guys. All of you. Right. So now, take this link, everybody. Then to get details of my classes, any updations or maybe anything else about my classes, not the single point of contact I'm giving there. Now try to take even this one also. Okay, the WhatsApp number or mobile number, whatever it may be, just you can talk with him. He'll be available for you. Any details about my classes care, everything he will take care. He is a complete responsible person for my classes. Okay, right, yes. Some of the members are new members today, so they came for like demonstration, demo class now. I try to take this screenshot, everybody. That's if you give confirmation, I'll move forward. I've taken a screenshot of it. Right, sir. Good. So now this is the batch for advanced Java with the frameworks. Advanced Java with the frameworks. Okay. Now today, now inside this course, what exactly the topics here we are going to be covering actually. Now the first one is advanced Java. Then along with this advanced Java, the next one is like what there, Hibernate, Spring, Spring Boot, microservices. So these many concepts here we are going to discuss inside this particular course. Okay. Now coming to this part here, advanced Java. Advanced Java. If we come for this advanced Java content here, what I am going to start. Advanced Java. Inside this advanced Java, then what content here we are going to discuss that mainly few topics. What are the few topics here we are going to understand now? Right. The first one is 650. The first one is JDBC, Java database connectivity. Next one is servlets, JSPs. So along with this JSPs, JSTL, expression language. JSTL, then what next one get? Expression language. Okay. So these are the topics what we are going to understand inside this advanced Java content. Clear. Now observe carefully. After getting clarity on this, now the timings for this advanced Java, then just before that, what timings I'm going to take for it now. Anyway guys, then for advanced Java, I will utilize the time is what is 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. daily we can attend for it now. Okay. Then no changes on this time here. Then advanced Java time is what is 6 to 7, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Continuously it is going to be happen. Then after this, now at 7 o'clock core Java is going on. When core Java is going to be completed, then I will start Hibernate. Okay. Then understand it clearly. Hibernate and Spring Boot microservices both are going to be happen at 6 to 7, and what next one get 7 to 8. Right. So the timings would be like what there, 6 to 7. Then after that another one is like what there, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. These two timings I'm going to take it now, but at 6 to 7 a.m. what's going to be happen there, advanced Java. 7 to 8 core Java is going on there. Once core Java is completed, then I'll start Hibernate. Okay, when Hibernate is in middle now, 6 to 7, when advanced Java is going to be completed, then I will start Spring Framework. At the same time, 7 to 8 Spring Boot, or 6 to 7 microservices. Like this, in 2 slots, I'm going to take this session completely. Right, sir. Now it's okay, fine. Now, advanced Java is going to be happen at 6 to 7 only. Right. And then after this, after completion of this. The next point is like what the prerequisite. To learn this advanced Java, to come for this advanced Java, what prerequisite here we need? Yeah, now definitely one is core Java is required. Core Java, definitely core Java. Few topics here we required. What few topics we required here? Then I will talk about it. Don't worry for it now. Next one is one database. One database knowledge is required to come for this advanced Java. Definitely, what is required now? One database knowledge is required. Okay, right. One database knowledge is required. After this, after this database knowledge here, after getting database, no. In database, then what database knowledge is required? It's fine, no problem. Either Oracle or MySQL, no problem. Anything, if you know, then that's sufficient. Core Java. Then in core Java again, that prerequisite part here I will list out now. Then as per that we are going to understand it clearly. In core Java, what topics mainly we required here? So mainly I required static keyword is required. Static keyword in the sense like what the static methods, static variables, of course static blocks. I think it's already completed here. Static keyword is required. After this, mainly after the static keyword, another topic mainly what I required now, class dot for name method is required. I think so we completed even this part also. Class dot for name method. Okay, don't need to have any discussion over this content here. Class dot for name method. After this class dot for name method, after completion of the static keyword, the next one is I need dynamic input approaches here we require. Or before this dynamic input approaches, no, I require exception handling mechanisms. Basics we required. Now inside this mainly what I required now, just two things. Throws keyword, try catch finally. After this try catch finally, try with resources. These concepts here we require. We have to understand. Okay. After completion of this exception handling mechanisms and its related content, get throws keyword, try catch finally, try with resources. After completion of this content, get from IO sims I required one more point. That one more point is like what? That another content here what I required now. Dynamic input approaches here we need. Dynamic input approaches, no. Inside these dynamic input approaches mainly what I required here buffered reader. I need. Apart from this buffered reader, then I required what the scanner. Yeah, of course, then console is available here. Console is also be available, but not required. Console is not required for us at present. No, console is not mandatory at present here. Okay, console is not mandatory. Dynamic input approaches, buffer data, scanner, and console. Console is not needed, but anyway, then I'll give some description about it. Mainly, we are going to put focus on what is the buffer reader and a scanner. These concepts here we require. Then after this, the next one is after completion of this collection framework. From the collection framework, one topic is required here. From the collection framework, we need some topics. What topic here we require here? Mainly, I don't require the total collection framework. No, inside this collection framework, what I need basic introduction part is required. Definitely. What is this collection? What is the purpose of the collection? This basic introduction is required. Apart from this introduction part here, apart from this introduction part now, here I required list and array list. That's enough. I don't require the remaining content now. List and array list. Okay, this is one thing here we required. Okay, then before going to start this collection framework now, dynamic input approaches, buffer editor, scanner, and console. These concepts here we are having. Then before this, now observe carefully what I required now. File operations. File operations. Inside this file operations, what topic here? What topics are required now? File input to stream and file output to stream. File input to stream and file output stream. Yeah, these two things also we require here. Definitely, we are going to use them in our content here. We are going to use them in our applications now. Definitely. Okay, clear. All right, guys. Now, once again, I'm telling you, this course is like what there, Advanced Java with frameworks. This is the course here. This is a course here. Inside this course, now the 5 topics here we are going to see. Advanced Java, Hibernate, Spring About, microservices. The timings will be 6 to 7 and 7 to 8. 6 to 7. Today started with Advanced Java. Then in the future, I'm going to use 7 to 8 for the remaining courses now. Hibernate, Spring About, microservices here. Parallelly, I'm going to take it now. But as of now, 6 to 7, I'm going to take Advanced Java. And Advanced Java is in the middle. Then I'll start Hibernate at 7 to 8. Now at present at 7 to 8 core Java is going on. In place of it, I'll start that Advanced Java once core Java is completed. Spring Boot microservices in both alternative timings. I'm going to take the classes. Advanced Java, if you take now, what syllabus I'm going to cover? JDBC, servlets, JSPs, JSL, and expression language. Right, these 5 topics I'm going to be covered inside this Advanced Java. Complete details now. Not like overviews, no. Then total information we are going to understand about this content. Then, but if you want to come for this Advanced Java, then we need some prerequisite now. What prerequisite here we require here? Core Java. Inside this core Java, then one database knowledge. Okay, one database knowledge we require here. Inside this core Java also, what topics I required here as a prerequisite? No. So first one is what there? Static keyword, class.forName method, exception handling mechanisms. Inside this exception handling mechanisms, no. Throws keyword, try catch finally, try with resources now. Then before that, just what I am telling there, just we can understand it clearly. In core Java, oops, actually inside this oops now I'm going to specify static keyword, then this one. Then observe carefully. Now it should be like what there? On my answer. Yeah, that's okay. If you come for this one, inside this oops no, another thing is like what there? Then classes, class, abstract class, and interface. This basics, very basics here we required. Just I'm listing out all the content here. Then really what I'm going to explain there, then I'll do that points here. Under these hoops, these concepts we require no exception handling, throws keyword, try catch finally, try with resources no, dynamic input approaches here. That is like what is the buffer data, scanner, then after that console, but console is not needed here, but I'll give some information there. File operations, file input stream, file output stream no, collection framework, inside this collection framework introduction part, list and analysis. Only these concepts here we required. One database knowledge in the sense, just what I'm telling you, just basic SQL queries. Basic queries. What basic queries here we required here no, create comma, then after this insert comma, update comma, then delete. So these queries here we are going to take. These only these queries related information here we require basics now. Okay. Yeah, guys, are you clear about my content? What I am telling to you, all of you are getting clarity on it. So in prerequisite part, but I don't know then how much you are aware about it. No, but the point is what I need to talk about some at least some few points about this prerequisites. Okay, then once you are familiar, once you are completing with this prerequisites, no, then we will talk about the content here. Okay, without knowing all these things, learning advanced Java is a crime. You are not going to understand anything about my classes here, especially in my classes. If you want to understand this advanced Java effectively, then definitely this prerequisite is needed, is must needed. No? Okay, so what I am telling there, once you are coming to this class, in a sense, you might be aware about these concepts now. You might be aware about these concepts here: class, abstract class, and interfaces. Everybody might be aware about it. No need to have any separate discussion over this content here. Especially in the static keyword also, you might be aware about static variables and static blocks here. Not required to talk about this content also. Class dot for name might be aware by all of you. I think you class dot for name method. My course students might be aware about it. No, but in the case if you are not aware, then I'll discuss about it. Yes, I'll start our prerequisite content right from class dot for name onwards. If you're not aware, then I will discuss about it. Don't worry for it now. From this point onwards, just I will give some brief review about all the prerequisite related content, guys. All prerequisite related content here I'm going to discuss with you now. I'm going to give clarity on it. If you're not aware about it now, don't worry. Just overview for our understanding to move on to the JDBC immediately. To move on to the JDBC immediately, just I'm going to talk about these prerequisite content immediately. Got it? No, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on the screen. Guys, all of you confirm to me. All of you are getting. Right, thank you. Okay, that's nice. All right, sir. Now, let us come for this class dot for name method. I think most of my students might be aware about them, but remember, just I want to give some brief review. Class dot for method. For what purpose here we are going to use this class dot for name method? Just I'm going to give clarity on it, guys. Now, all of you know, all of you, please understand it. Observe carefully. Um, I'm asking one simple question to all of you guys now. Observe carefully. Let me open ID, whatever it may be. Guys, no, I'll give discussion about it, how to install these IDs also. Don't worry. I'm going to give both the as well as what the both the IDs I'm going to use. No need to worry for it. Let me prepare one simple content here. I'll show how to use both the IDs, no, Eclipse and as well as what are their IntelliJ idea. No need to worry for it. Okay. Right. So now this is the location here I'm telling them AVB01 IntelliJ create. Okay. And very simple question to all of you. Try to answer for it. Guys, now class A here I have taken. Observe carefully. What I have taken here? Class A. In a class A, I'm going to take constructor. This is a class constructor. This is static block. Static block and a constructor. Tell me guys, at what time static block is going to be executed and at what time constructor is going to be executed now? At what time static block is going to be executed and at what time constructor is going to be executed? Yes. Come on, just I'm expecting answers from you. At what time constructs are executed, at what time static blocks are executing? Questions box is available, sir. Just see there we can type the answer. We have questions box. All right, sir. As per the content here, what I'm telling now, as per the content here, what I'm giving clarity there. Static block will be executed at the time of loading class bytecode to the memory. Just to represent class loading or at the time of loading class bytecode to the memory, this static block will be executed. Okay, fine. But at what time this constructor will be executed? At what time this constructor will be executed? Object creating. Object creating time. Okay. At object creating time only this constructor will be executed. For example, a small a is equal to new a. If I take this intersection, a small a is equal to new a. If I take this intersection, you only tell me what output here we are able to get. What output here we are able to get now, tell me. If I create an object for this, one point is very clear. One point is very clear. At the time of, when we create an object, first JVM has to load class bytecode to the memory. The respective class bytecode will be loaded to the memory. Okay. Respective class bytecode will be loaded to the memory. Respective class bytecode will be loaded to the memory. Then when object is creating, no, After loading class bytes code to the memory, at the time of creating an object at memory allocation point, automatically constructor is going to be executed. So object creating. So if I run this program, here we are able to get output both. What is it? Both here we are able to get output here no class loading, object creation. Class loading and object creating. Both the outputs here we are getting. But here my requirement is like what there. I don't want to create an object. Just I want to load class bytes code to the memory. I need to create I need to load class bytes code to the memory without creating object. Without creating object, just I want to load class bytes code to the memory. That's my requirement. If you want to load class bytes code to the memory without creating object, there we have to use class.forName method. They definitely be required what there class.forName method. There's a point here we have to understand. There what is required here class.forName method. Class.forName of class name, fully qualified name of the class here if you specify no, automatically it's going to load the class bytes code to the memory. Now return type is what is there is a class actually. This method throws some exception here. So to handle it, time being I'm going to use throws exception. That's enough. No need to think much about it. Then the feature I will cover. Then what's the purpose of this throws exception here? Now as of now, just we can understand class.forName. In place of what I have written here, no, in place of a small a is equal to new a object. In place of this instruction, I have written this. Then what it will do actually, just it will load class bytes code to the memory. Just it will load class bytes code to the memory. It will not do any other content. Just it will load class bytes code to the memory. Okay, right, sir. Now let me run this example here. What we are able to get now. Yeah, now here we are getting output is what there. Only class loading output here we are getting, but we are not having any other content here. Just class loading output here we are getting. Clear? Right, sir. This is the point here of what I am telling you. Now observe carefully what's going on internally also we are going to understand here. Now first of all, let me complete this point here. In Java applications, when we create an object for a particular class, then JVM will perform the following actions. What actions the JVM is able to perform there? JVM will load the respective class bytecode to the memory. Then after that, JVM will create an object. JVM will create an object. All right, so now when we create an object for a particular class by using new keyword. Right, sir. So another point is what there, as per the requirement in Java applications, as per the requirement, if you want to load class bytecode to the memory without creating object. If you want to load a particular class bytecode to the memory, without creating object, then we have to use class. Then we have to use the following method from Java.language class. Class is also a class, guys. Now understand it clearly. What method here we are going to use there? Now just I'm going to use that method complete prototype here. Public static class for name, string class name, throws class not found exception. class not found exception. Execute the statement here what we are doing. Now example code here I'm telling you, now observe carefully what should be the example code here. Class CS is equal to class name of fully qualified of in the sense like what they directly if you have package no package name dot class name. If you don't have any package name, just directly specify the class name. What class item we want to put there, class name we can specify. Okay. Then what's going to be happen inside this? Execute this. What's that internal flow also I'm going to discuss with you guys. Now everybody has to put more notes in it. Now we get what I'm giving there class data is sorted. In Java applications, when we create an object for a particular class by using the new keyword, then JV will perform the following actions. JV will load the respective class backward in memory. JV will create an in Java applications backward in memory without creating an object. Then we have to use the following method from java.lang class. Guys, now please check it. All of you get my voice on the screen now. Am I audible, guys? Please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on the screen now. Am I audible? No, right, nice. Now, what's going to be happen inside this class dot for name method now? Observe carefully. So when we execute the above instruction, JV will perform the following actions. What JV will perform there with this particular one? Observe carefully. I'll give some clarity on it. First point is what there. First, JVM will take the class what we provided as a parameter to class dot for name method, and JVM will search for its dot class file at 3 locations. What are the 3 locations? No, from current location where we are running, and at Java predefined libraries, and at the locations provided by class path environment variable. That's now once again let me confirm it. First of all, JVM will take the provided class name. JVM will take the provided class name. Next one is what there? JVM will search for its dot class file. JVM will search for the provided classes dot class file at a current location at Java predefined library and at the locations provided by the class path environment variable. Class path environment variable. Right, sir. JVM will take the provided class and JVM will search for the provided classes dot class file at current location at Java predefined libraries and at the locations provided by the class path environment variables. Okay, clear. Now, if the provided class does not exist, then JVM will raise an exception. If the provided, if the whatever the class name here we provided, no, if its dot class file is not available at all three locations, if its dot class file is not available at all three locations, no, then definitely JVM will raise an exception like JVM will raise an exception like java.lang. Class not found exception. Java.lang. Class not found exception here we are able to get if the provided class does not exist. Okay, right, sir. Now, if the provided class exists, then if the provided class exists, then JVM will load its bytecode to the memory. At the time of loading that bytecode only, static block is going to be executed. If the provided class exists, then JVM will load its bytecode to the memory. Alright, sir. Then the point I'm telling there, at the time of loading the class bytecode to the memory only, if you have any static block, the static block is going to be executed. This is a static block. It's going to be executed where what output here we are getting there? Class loading output here we are getting. Alright. The next one is after loading class bytecode to the memory, after loading class bytecode to the memory, JVM will get metadata of the loaded class. JVM will get the metadata of the loaded class in the form of java.lang.class object. In the form of java.lang.class object, where the metadata includes class name, access modifiers of the class, superclass details, implemented interfaces details, declared variables, comma, methods, comma, constructors, details, and so on and so on and so on. Guys, once again, I'm giving clarity to all of you guys. Now observe carefully. 1 minute, guys. Now I'll give clarity on it. Once again, I'll talk about it. Don't worry. Here the point is what there. Once we provided this in a section, JVM will execute this main class, main method. When JVM encounter this in a section, first JVM will take the provided class. JVM will search for its dot class file at current location at Java predefined library and at the locations provided by class path environment variable. If this provided dot class file, if the required dot class file is not available at all three locations, there we are able to get an exception. What is that exception here? We are able to get no class not found exception here. We are able to get. In the case if it is available, if a dot class file is available at either of these three locations, JVM will load its bytecode to the memory. After loading bytecode, then JVM will collect metadata of the loaded class, and that collected metadata will be stored in the form of java.lang.class object. That created java.lang.class object is written by for name method to the CLS variable. Here we have taken CLS variable. Through that CLS variable, we are able to get metadata of the respective class K. Then what is metadata for class K? What data is included inside the metadata of class K? Or name of the class. That is what there A. Then after this, offer the name of the class now, access modifiers of the class, superclass metadata, implemented interfaces details now, then declared variables information, methods information, constructors details, whatever the information that we provided about the class A, that everything will be available in the form of class object. In the future, if we require any details about this class A, we will get the details directly from the class object. That's it. Now this is going to be happen inside this class.forName method. Why we require this particular topic in JDBC now? In the future, I'm going to use a driver in my JDBC applications. About this driver, I don't require to create an object. Just I want to load its bytecode to the memory. I need to load driver bytecode to the memory. I don't require to create an object for the driver. That's my point. If you don't want to create an object, just if you want to load bytecode to the memory for a particular class, then definitely we have to use what their class.forName method. Then definitely we have to utilize like what their class.forName method. This is a point here we have to understand now. Alright, so now just leave this point here. And one more point here I'm telling you regarding this example here. In the case if this class A is not available, whatever the class A here we provided, whatever the parameter here we specified to this forName method, if it is not available, then definitely we are able to get an exception. What is that exception here? We are able to get now class not found exception here we are able to get. Directly here we are able to get what exception? No, class not found exception here we are able to get. Now let me take for it. For an instance, just I have specified some B, class name B. But here what class is available here? Class A is available. But here what is the name here I provided? No, B. B is the name here I provided. If I take this, now directly here we are able to get an exception. Now check for this exception here. No, java.lang.class not found exception here we are getting. Java.lang.class not found exception here we are getting. Okay, this is about this class.forName method and its content here. Okay, sir, clear. Okay, right, guys. Now once again, I'm telling to you, please take this document here, take the screenshot of it. So this is a link for this class notes. Every day I'm going to type the class notes inside the class note. You're able to get benefit of it. Now try to take this class notes now, the screenshot of it. Okay, then tomorrow and day after tomorrow, no class for this advanced Java at 6 o'clock. No, next class will be on Monday. Next class will be on Monday for this advanced Java, but everybody has to take these two things. This link is for the sake of the class notes daily, and this number is our admin number. Then everything about my classes, just you can talk with him, able to give response about my classes. Okay, all right, sir. Now this class, next class will be on Monday. No class on tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Next class will be on Monday. Try to attend it for it. Monday at 6 o'clock. I'll connect with the classes now. Right, sir. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot. I'll meet on Monday. Right.